It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. You've had a long day, but you're sitting across the table in front of a really big financial advisory prospect. Your wife and kids, they expected you home 2 hours ago. But you tell yourself that if you close this case, it'll all be worth it. The prospect looks up at you and she says, "Thank you so much for answering all of our questions. You've been so great to us. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go home, we're going to sleep on it, and we'll call you when we're ready." Your heart sinks. You tell yourself, "I've given this person all the strategies. Every question they had, I answered, and I've given them multiple options to choose from. And I still couldn't close this case." Somewhere across town, there's another financial advisor who just closed a similar family for $1 million. He didn't spend that much time answering questions. In fact, the strategies he put on the table weren't even that profound. Why is it that this man is about to attract millions of dollars into his firm while you struggle with $200,000 to $300,000 case sizes? The difference is not the lead. The difference is the man in the room. My name is Sam Rad, and I'm here to share with you the three things that make the biggest difference from going to a struggling, hustling financial advisor to being a $10 million man. And I'm here to tell you that a $10 million advisor is not a type of a trick. It's a type of a man. It's a type of a human being who attracts high frequency wealth. And in order for you to become this man, you got to step outside of the norm within our industry. You see, our industry tells us that the more designations we have, that the more intelligence we have, the more successful we will be. But let me ask you, how many men do you know in this business who've been at it for so long, who are so much more intelligent than you and I, who still struggle to break millions of dollars after 30 or 40 years in the industry? Let me share with you my story. And right after, I'm going to share with you the three distinctions that make a man worthy of commanding $1 million portfolios. I started as a war refugee. By the age of 33, I was in Beverly Hills, had my own independent financial advisory firm, and was generating over $1 million of personal income. My average portfolio size was around $750,000 on average. And I'm here to tell you that most people who stepped into my office, we were not talking strategy and numbers. We were talking connection, emotional intimacy, deep trust building, rapport beyond what the industry teaches us. Yes, I did have a CFP. Yes, I had multiple licenses, but none of those were the reason why I was able to break through to this level of success. I'm going to share with you the three distinctions that every financial advisor man needs to have in order to become a $10 million man. Number one, how trustworthy are you? I'm not talking about how much can I trust you with my dollars and cents. I'm talking about who are you as a human being? How do you show up to your wife and kids? How do you show up in front of your employees? Why should I trust you if I've worked for 40 years of my life? I've missed my kids' weddings, bar mitzvahs, and family funerals just to save this money so I can one day have the freedom to enjoy my life. And you're telling me that I should give this to you because of what? Because you know finance? Let me remind you that most of us can now get expert financial advice from ChatGPT. So if you think that I'm going to work for 14,400 days of my life as a prospect and then give you everything that I've ever worked for because you're very intelligent, you must be kidding yourself. Conversely, if you're a man who is a man of integrity, a man who knows how to connect with other human beings in a way that makes them feel safe, the type of man where people are actually grateful to be in your presence. I'm talking about you. The guy who is not just intelligent and understands asset allocation theories, but a guy who knows how to hold himself in high levels of uncertainty and help other people feel a level of safety that no other human being in their life has been able to provide. This is a $10 million man, not the guy who's got the CFP designation, who stutters and looks away every few seconds inside of a conversation. If you want to become a guy who commands millions of dollars of premium in annuities in life insurance, you got to become a premium type of man. And this type of man is not a man who is based on scripts. He's not a type of man who is based on the perfect PowerPoint presentation. This is a type of man who embodies the characteristics of a well trusted advisor. And I'm not just talking about financial advisor, because that is the bare minimum if you're going to be attracting $1 million or more clients. You see, when the client quality goes up, so does the demand from the client. It's no longer enough for you to just know all the ABCs of our industry. Now, if you want to attract the type of person who's willing to not only give you their life savings, but is willing to actually speak highly of you to their friends, to their family members, someone who is actually wanting to become an advocate for who you are as a human being, you get to first become that human being. You get to first show up as that human being. And when you do, it will be inevitable. People will start to come towards you and they will say things to you like, I'm so grateful I met you. I've never met a man like you before. And of course, I would love to spend an hour at your office if you'd love to have me. Me and my wife have been looking for someone like you to work with for a very long time. In fact, most of the people that we've worked with have not had the same qualities, characteristics, or even presence that you have. We're so grateful that we came to your seminar. Thank you. You see, these are the type of prospects that I was attracting when I became this kind of man. And this type of man did not start from more intellect. I trust that if you're watching this video, you are an extremely intelligent man, that you understand how to put together portfolios like you are Van Gogh. But what I want to teach you is how to be a SWAT team tactical man in the field of prospecting, in the field of being a leader for people who are willing to put their trust, their time, their energy, their life savings, and more importantly, people who are willing to put their word behind you. And when you become this man, the amount of money that you're going to attract is actually the smallest win. The bigger wins that you will experience is the type of quality of life you will have. More on this in my next videos. So please follow me and start to learn about how to create trust from a space of authority and authenticity rather than from a space of manipulation and tactics. True trust is what clients are willing to put millions of dollars of money behind. Number two, how much tension can you hold as a financial advisor when things become uncertain? How do you look when you're in front of an audience and you're giving a presentation? Are you shaking? Are you fiddling with your pocket? Are you moving back and forth on stage? Is your voice cracking? How much tension and confidence do you hold when somebody approaches you and asks you a question that might be kind of uncomfortable? How do you manage and navigate when there's high levels of uncertainty and sometimes even conflict inside of your presentation rooms and inside of your meetings and appointments? You see, most men who are not trained resort to the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn nervous system response. This is where you either become a people pleaser to your customers who actually don't trust you anymore, or you start to actually become aggressive when it's not necessary. Or you start to become pushy in your appointments, trying to bulldoze people to give you more money. None of these work with larger size clients. I've even seen men who resort to begging and putting guilt and shame on their prospects, hoping that that's going to help them scale their business. Let me tell you, if your nervous system is not fully trained, there's no way you're going to be able to command $1 million cases. And my goal is to train your nervous system as a high powered financial advisor man so that you can actually hold tension in the field of uncertainty. So that when you're sitting in those high frequency, those high tension, high response appointments where stakes are really high, you're actually in a space of power. You're operating like a musical conductor at the high point of your career. Instead of looking away, instead of coming up with excuses or answers that the client looks at you and wonders, why did you even say that? You're going to be able to command the room. This is what I mean by holding tension. Most financial advisors were not trained to hold tension. I was one of them. When I was in client meetings, I was constantly doing things that were so kiss ass. Can I say that? And I was being obsequious, hoping to attract the client's attention and their dollars. And it wasn't until I learned how to train my nervous system like a sharpshooter so that when I'm sitting in appointments with financial advisory prospects, I'm creating a place of safety with my nervous system where they start to relax, knowing that they're in front of a man who's in control, not from a place of manipulation, not from a place of fear, but from a place of true confidence and safety. Third, I want to talk to you about how to develop authentic confidence, how to become a man of authority, not just in front of your seminars, not just inside of your appointments and meetings, but also in your office, in front of your employees, at home with your wife and your children. So many of us men think that our confidence comes from being assertive or aggressive. And let me tell you, if you've been around enough women, you know that most women do not like aggressive men. They don't like men who are arrogant. Most women want a man who's emotionally intelligent, who knows how to guide them from a place of authentic authority, and a man who is not combative or filled with fear, especially when things become uncertain or intimacy goes up. And as a financial advisor, you will be sitting in many appointments where you'll need to create more intimacy with your prospects, and you'll need to create them pretty quickly if you want to be a man who commands millions of dollars. So, my goal for you is to teach you how to increase your authentic authority by developing your confidence, not just as a financial advisor, but as a man, a leader, a guy that people can trust. And this is the type of guy who prospects will not only give money to, they will invest large sums of money. They will speak about you with their friends and family members because there are very few financial advisor men that embody these characteristics that command this type of money. Yes, there are also men who generate a lot of income and they do it through manipulation, they do it through hustling and grinding, and you've seen them. We've been around men in our industry who are older, more successful, but truly they're broken. They're over drinking, over smoking, overeating, overworking. And many of these men, because of the fact that they have not embodied healthy masculine leadership, their relationships at home are broken because all they've done for most of their career is they've tried to muscle and aggress their way to success. My goal is to teach you how to obtain success as a healthy, powerful financial advisor man who actually is fulfilled by his success, who is energized by his accomplishments, a man who people respect and want to be around. This is the type of man who attracts the $1 million clients, not the guy who hustles, who closes more leads, who meets with more people. You've done it. You know that if you increase your leads and appointments by 2 times, by 3 times, yes, you'll make more money, but you'll absolutely break and you'll burn out. This is what Men of Means is about. This is what I'm here to teach you. So follow me on our website, menofmeans.org. Follow this channel, leave a message, and in my future videos, I'm going to teach you skills on how to build rapid trust and authority inside of your seminars and inside of every single appointment that you have. And my goal is that your level of confidence, esteem, and authority is so heightened that outside of your seminars, you're receiving a 70 to 80% appointment show up ratio. No more chasing clients and begging them to come to your office. No more trying to manipulate and pressure them to give you more money. I want every single prospect that comes through your firm to become an asset to you and your business, personally and professionally. I'll see you on my next video.